how to influence and connect with people without pretending to be somebody who you're not. Do you want to build better relationships with people who you work with and to be more well connected, more influential? Perhaps the question on your mind is, who do I have to pretend to be today so that the other party will like me, will trust me, and then we can have a good working relationship? My name is Chen Chue and I'm an executive coach from Singapore, and I support leaders grow the agile mindset so they will become more successful and satisfied in their careers and lives. And today I'm going to share with you a couple of tips on how you can really connect and influence, because as you know, that's really something really important for most of our careers. I definitely can recall a time where I was high performing, I was high achieving, perhaps a little of that perfectionist and competitiveness, and I realized that being good in what you do is not enough to advance you in your career. It comes to a point where you are very good at implementing things, but you are seen not good enough to lead at the top. And why is that? Perhaps it's the likability factor. I don't think I was very well liked at some parts of my career, and many of my clients have similar experience as well. It's no longer good enough to be good and great in what you do. It is important that you are good with people. So first tip, show up authentically. Instead of asking ourselves, who do I have to pretend to be? I think it's probably quite exhausting. It's not sustainable if I have to second guess or even plan how am I going to respond. Because ultimately, building relationships is a very organic process. Depending on how the other person responds, you want to respond like a fellow human companion. And you cannot fake it, you cannot plan it to the microsecond. It's just not doable. And showing up authentically then talks about us embracing our true self, our best self. Who is that best person I want to be? Do I have the courage to show up and show people who I am and what I'm all about? Am I comfortable in my own skin so that I can release myself from all the judgments that will come? Because I guarantee you, people will judge you no matter where you go. And because ultimately, everyone is unique, we are all different. So we have to be comfortable in our own skin. We have to like ourselves. We got to know what we are good at, what we are not good at, and be okay with it. Helps us show up authentically. And when people see that you are very real, you are authentic, it's very easy for them to open up to you, because it's a very sincere relationship. That you don't self-profess that I am unbeatable, I don't have areas for improvement, because that's just not possible. I think it's a continuous journey to become somebody who you are proud to be, and authenticity is definitely important. It's probably less exhausting, and more sustainable and more enjoyable to be a leader in that direction. Second tip is to suspend judgment. We navigate the world with all our lenses, our filters, totally normal. However, there are many occasions where some of these assumptions don't serve us anymore. And then the question to ask ourselves is, when I make assumptions or I stereotype a certain kind of people, our workplace has become so diverse. There are so many people who are different from us, different upbringing, different backgrounds. Very easy for us to assume some things about them, even when we don't know them at all, And the effect of these judgments is that when we judge people, people can actually feel it. They can feel that they are being judged. You can imagine yourself stepping into a room and you definitely know whether the territory is safe or not safe. Is it dangerous zone or is it safe zone? And it has to do with the vibes that we emit, that we send out to people, that helps them connect with us, like us, accept us, will they let us into the inner circle or not. So I think suspending judgment is really key. And we have to then elevate ourselves to one level up, which is to be aware of our assumptions. So I think question for you to think about today is, what are some assumptions that you might be holding on to and maybe it's not helping you anymore? So the third tip is this: be curious about others. Curiosity is really important, especially when our workplaces have become really complex. We have many generations in the workplace, we have a lot of diversity. We want to make a workplace very inclusive, not just diverse. So we want to make it inclusive. And to make it inclusive, then key thing is about being curious about people. It allows us to ask the right questions, open-ended questions. to truly have the interest to know another fellow human being, to see what is common between us instead of what is different between the two of us. And well, differences do emerge, then how do we synergize and make something better out of it? Being curious about others makes us open-minded, and not forgetting, all human beings have the innate desire to be heard and to be understood. And imagine then you are a leader who asks all the right questions, the open-ended questions. So these are the questions which really open up the conversations and help you understand another human being at a much deeper level. And then the connection will then definitely be stronger. And when you have connection, when you have the positive emotional balance, you will then be able to influence others. So I hope these 3 tips are useful for you. And look out for my next video where I share with you more tips on how you can be an effective leader.